Can you save your own money, or do you need the government to do it for you? I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.media. If you want to know why the issue of pensions and whether we should expand the government pension plan, why it's become such a huge fight in the House of Commons, just take a listen to the words that John McCallum said to me after question period on Monday.
It needs to be expanded, and I think that's how Kathleen Wynne won her majority, and I think the majority of Canadians agree, the majority of provincial governments agree. So I do think it's an idea whose time has come.
That's right. The federal Liberals think that their Ontario provincial cousins won a majority in the last provincial election because they promised to bring in the Ontario pension plan, which explains why McCallum and others are getting up regularly in question period and asking things like this.
But in 2010, the minister's predecessor, Jim Flaherty, said the following, quote, "This is Jim Flaherty. We should consider a modest, phased-in and fully funded enhancement to defined benefits under the CPP." Now there's a good idea. Right. So why is this finance minister ignoring the advice of his predecessor?
They want a government expansion of the pension plan. Now the Conservatives have said they'll make it optional, but they're not going to force Canadians to do it because
for someone earning $60,000 a year, a $1,000 tax hike is the response and the answer that the Liberal Party has. We believe in choice for Canadians. Canadians know they're better off.
Now, McCallum's answer to that is that, look, Canadians just simply aren't saving enough. Now, I asked him, how does it make sense if Canadians aren't saving enough because they can't afford it to have government dip into their pocket? If they can't do it themselves, how will they have enough money if it's government doing it?
For whatever reason, Canadians have not saved as much in recent years as they used to. And so we think that in order for Canadians of the future to have a good retirement income, they need to save more, and the Canada Pension Plan is one means of achieving that.
Not really a clear answer, but McCallum did say that it's improper for the government to call the Canada Pension Plan premiums a payroll tax. Well, they actually are a form of payroll tax, and that's something that Joe Oliver, the finance minister, was willing to hit home in the Commons foyer.
Well, it's definitely an imposition of a payroll tax. I mean, we know that the Ontario plan will cost in the order of $3.5 billion, $3.5 billion imposed on employers and employers in Ontario. It appears that the leader of the Liberal Party and the NDP all favor that kind of mandatory imposition of a payroll tax.
As I said last week, there's no shortage of options for you when it comes to saving for retirement. You've got the CPP. You can join optional pension plans like the Saskatchewan Pension Plan if you don't have your own company one. Yep, that's right. The Saskatchewan Pension Plan, open to any Canadian across the country. You put in the money, they'll save it for you and give you a retirement income when you finally retire. You've also got RRSPs, you've got tax-free savings account. You can just sock money away in the bank or put it under your mattress if you want. There are so many options available to Canadians. But somehow Liberals have in their head that the only acceptable option is to have government save money for you. Why? I think it's their fundamental belief that government is there to look after you, cradle to grave. It is a nanny state mentality. Now, I'm not against the Canada Pension Plan. There's a lot of Canadians that won't get what they need from it because they didn't put in enough. But there are better options out there. As I explained last week, if you save all that money and then, God forbid, something happens to you just as you're about to retire or just after you've retired, your family doesn't get all the money that you saved. If you put it in your own RRSP or tax-free savings account, they will get all that money, all the interest, and they'll decide what to do with it. They won't have the government deciding for them how much of your money they get. The Canada Pension Plan is a good deal for the government. It's not a great deal for all Canadians, but it is an idea that progressives will hold on to because it means government gets to make the decisions for you. And in the end, that seems to be what they cherish most.